Okay, Shabab. I think last time we started with the second unit. We started with the Olympic facts. We talked about the text here. We asked you questions and we stopped here. We are going to read and do, the exercises together. Just we want to revise you. We want to listen, then we will read. Okay? Listen. If there is no audio, just tell me.
Unit 2, The Sporting Life, pages 20 and 21. 1. Listen and discuss. Fascinating Olympic facts.
The ancient Olympic Games began in Greece in 776 BCE and were held every 4 years until 393 CE. It wasn't until about 1,500 years later, in the mid-1800s, that the Games were revived in Greece. But the Olympics didn't become the event we know today until 1896, when a French historian named Pierre de Coubertin had the idea of making the Games international and founded the International Olympic Committee.
Medals weren't always a part of the Olympics. Giving medals to winners is a practice that began in 1896, and between 1896 and 1904, the top prize was a silver medal.
The youngest person that has ever competed in the Olympics was Dimitrios Laundras, a 10-year-old gymnast on the 1896 Greek gymnastics team.
Lighting the Olympic torch does not involve a match. It is lit using only the light of the sun and a special mirror.
At various times, the Olympics have included such unusual events as a swimming obstacle race, a tug of war, and live pigeon shooting.
The gold medal is not made of gold. It's actually 92.5% silver with a covering of 6 grams of gold.
The marathon is an event named after the run of a Greek soldier, Pheidippides. In 490 BCE, Pheidippides ran from Marathon to Athens, about 26 miles or 40 kilometers, to deliver news about the Greeks' success in a battle against the Persians. Running through the mountains and rocky land was extremely difficult. After Pheidippides arrived in Athens and delivered his news, he fell down and died. The first modern Olympics in 1896 included a race of 26 miles, 40 kilometers, called a marathon, to commemorate Pheidippides' run.
Because the Greeks originated the Olympics, the Greek team always leads the procession of athletes during the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. They are followed by the other teams in alphabetical order. The hosting country goes last.
Dropping sports from the Olympics is not uncommon. In fact, many popular sports have been dropped through the years, including rugby, golf, baseball, and softball. Adding a new event can only happen if another one is dropped.
Okay. Just to revise you with some questions that we asked before. When did the ancient Olympics, begin? When did the ancient Olympics, begin? The answer, Sharif, will be in the first paragraph. Sharif.
Yes, 776 BC.
Good. 776 BCE. Good. So the answer will be in the first line. The Olympic Games begin, began in Greece in 776. Now, when did the Olympics become an international event? When did the Olympics become an international, event? Look at the first paragraph again. Yes, Sharif.
The mid 1800s.
Good. 1890. Yes, in 1896. In 1896. You know, the Olympics became what, an international event. Here the answer in the first paragraph. Now, what was the top prize in the Olympics in 1896? What was the top prize in 1896? Uday.
Silver medal.
Good. A silver medal, yes. The top prize was, you know, in that time, a silver medal. It is, you know, here. The top prize was a silver medal. Now, how old was the youngest person that have ever competed in the Olympics? How old was he? You know, how old was the youngest person that has competed in the Olympics? Where, Abdullah Amin? Are you here? Yanal? How was the youngest person? How old, was the youngest person who has ever competed in the Olympics?
Yes, teacher, can I try?
Yes.
He was 10 years old.
Good, he was 10 years old. Good. Who founded the Olympic Committee? Who founded, the International Olympic Committee? Who founded, the International Olympic Committee? The answer is in the first paragraph. Who can answer? Sharif? A French?
French historian named
Pierre de Coubertin.
de
Yes.
Coubertin.
Good. Pierre de Coubertin. A French historian who founded the International Olympic Committee. Now, how much gold is there in a gold medal? How much gold is, let us say, there in a gold medal? Ahmed Azzam? The answer here.
Yes.
How much gold is there in a gold medal?
I don't know, sir.
Look at the answer. The answer is...
It's not made of gold. It's actually 92.5% silver, with a covering of 6 grams of gold.
6 grams. So the answer will be 6 grams of gold. Because,
Okay.
It is not made of, original gold. It is, made of silver, covered with what?
With gold.
With gold. 6 grams of gold. Good. Now, which team goes first in the opening, procession? Which team goes first in the opening procession? The answer will be here before the last paragraph. Which team always, goes first in the opening, ceremony?
Is that question for me, sir?
No, not asking, all of you.
Okay.
Abdullah Amin. Ashraf. Usaid.
Yes.
Yes, Usaid.
Yes, teacher.
Which team goes first in the opening ceremony? In the opening, procession? The answer here. Before the last paragraph. Yeah. The Greeks. Good.
The Greeks.
Good. The Greeks always, the Greeks team always goes first in the opening ceremony. Now, why? Why do they, you know, always?
Because they founded the Olympics.
Good, because they founded, you know, the Olympics. Because they founded the Olympics. They, you know, originated the Olympics. Now, which team goes last? Which team goes last?
The hosting team.
Yes, the hosting team. Good. The hosting country goes, you know, last. The hosting country. Okay, I think last time we asked you to these questions and more. Now we want to read. Who wants to read the first paragraph, the introduction? Who wants to read? Sharif, read the first paragraph. The ancient Olympics.
Yes. Okay. Fascinating Olympic facts. The ancient Olympic Games began in Greece in 776 BC and were held every 4 years until 393 CE. It was until about 1500 years later, in the mid-1800s, that the Games were revived in Greece. But the Olympics didn't become the event we know today until 1896, when a French historian named Pierre de Coubertin had the idea of making the Games international and founded the International Olympic Committee.
Good. Who can continue? Can continue with the first, the second, you know, paragraph about, you know, the medals. About the medals. Abdurrahman Mahrouk, are you here? Abdurrahman. Muhammad Taysir. Abdurrahman Musa. يلا محمد Taysir.
Yes, teacher.
Read here. Read the second paragraph. Medals weren't always a part of the Olympics. Read it, please.
Where, teacher? Sorry, please.
On page 20. On page 20. We read the introduction. Then we want to continue with the second paragraph here. Medals weren't always a part of the Olympics.
Okay. Medals weren't always a part of Olympics. Giving medals to winners is a practice that began in 1896, and between 1896 and 1904, the top prize was a silver medal.
Good. Continue. The second. The youngest person.
The youngest person that has ever competed in the Olympics was Demetrius Laundras, a 10 years old gymnast on 1896 Greek gymnastics team.
Good, thank you. Who wants to continue? Who wants to continue? Uday?
Lighting the Olympic torch does not involve a match. It is lit using only the light of the sun and a special mirror.
Good, continue please. The third.
Teacher, can you remove this?
Yeah. Yes.
At various times, the Olympics have included such unusual events as a swimming, obstacle race, a tug of war, and live figure shooting.
Good. Okay. Where is Abdurrahman Musa? Ashraf? Yanal?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Yanal, continue.
Which paragraph?
Here, the gold medal is not made of gold. Here.
Okay.
the gold medal is not made of gold. It's actually 92.5% silver with a covering of 6 grams of gold.
Good. Continue. The marathon now.
And BCE
I think
fitted round from Marathon to Athens about 26 miles or 42 kilometers. News about the Greek success in a battle against the Persians running through the mountains and rocky land was extremely difficult. After Philippides
that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. Yanan, that's enough, please. There's something wrong with your mic. Ashraf, are you here, Ashraf?
Yes, Mr. I'm here.
Read, this paragraph. The marathon is an event named after the run of the Greek soldier.
The marathon. Okay. The marathon is an event named after the run of a Greek soldier.
Soldier.
Philippides.
Philippides.
Philippides. In 490 BCE, Philippides ran from Marathon to Athens about 26 miles or 42 kilometers to deliver news about the Greek success in a battle against the Persians. Running through the mountains and rocky land was extremely difficult. After Philippides arrived in Athens and delivered his news, he fell down and died.
Good.
The first modern Olympics in 1896 included a race in 26 miles, 42 kilometers, called a marathon to commemorate Philippides' run.
Good. So you realize, the marathon, the name comes from a place which, the soldier ran from Marathon to Athens just to tell them, let us say, good news about the Greek success against, the Persians. What happened to him when he arrived? He, fell down and died. So they did the marathon to commemorate his running. Who wants to continue with because the Greeks originated? The next, Abdurrahman Mahrouk.
Yes.
Yes, continue.
Because the Greeks organized of Olympics, the Greek team always leads the procession of athletes during the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. They are followed by the other teams in alphabetical order.
Good.
The hosting country goes last.
Good. So here talking about, the order of the, let us say, teams. The first team is, the Greeks, because they founded the Olympics. The Greek team always leads the procession of athletes during the opening ceremony. And, the last one will be always, the hosting country. Who can read the last paragraph? Abdul Aziz, dropping sports.
Yes. Dropping sports from the Olympics is not uncommon. In fact, many popular sports have been dropped through the years, including rugby, golf, baseball, and softball. Adding a new event can only happen in another one is dropped.
Good. So I think we answered the questions. When did the Olympic Games begin? 776 BCE. BCE means, you know, before Common Era. When were the Olympic Games revived? In the mid of 1800s. When did the Olympic Games become international? 1896. When were medals given to winners? Also in 1896. When was the youngest person competed in the Olympic Games? Also in the same year, 1896. When was a marathon game included? In 1896. Who, you know, asking about people who originated the Olympic Games? The Greeks. Was the messenger about the Greek success? You know, a French historian or a Greek soldier, Phidippides, who had, you know, the idea of making the games international. You know, French historian Pierre de Coubertin was the youngest person competed in the Olympic. A Greek gymnast, Dimitris Laundras. Okay, now here we have some words that we discussed before. BCE means before the Common Era. CE, Common Era. What was the top prize? You know, medals, silver medal. How old was the youngest athlete in that time? 10 years old. How is the Olympic torch lit? You know, by using, you know, only the light of the sun, using a special mirror, not by a match. Now here, something used to start a fire, it is what? A match. Okay. Give examples of unusual events. Now here we have swimming obstacle race, tug of war, and, you know, live pigeon shooting. How much gold is there in a gold medal? 6 grams. Just, you know, 6 grams of gold. Where did the messenger start running? From Marathon. Marathon is a place. What happened to the messenger? What happened to him? When he arrived, he, you know, fell down and died. A word which means, you know, removing from, dropping. How can a new event be added to the Olympic Games if another one is dropped? Why does the Greek team always lead the procession? Because, you know, they originated, you know, the Olympics. They founded it, started there. Which country goes last? The hosting country. Okay, now look at your books on page 21. Look at your books on page 21. Complete, you know, the sentences with one of these words. Number one. Sharif.
Yes. The parade would begin with a procession of students.
Good. The parade will begin with the procession of students marching down the avenue. Good. Thank you. Write it, please. Number two. Where is Abdurrahman Saadi? Are you here? Abdurrahman. Abdullah Amin. Ahmed Rami. Nidal.
So can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. The board game chess in India and originated in India in the 6th
Good. Originated in India. Started in India in the 6th century. Yes. Number three. Number three, who can try? Abdul Mu'in, are you here? Saad. Yusuf. I think it is easy. Abdurrahman Mahrouk. Who can try?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, number 3, please.
The Eiffel Tower was built to
Yes.
commemorate.
Yes. Commemorate, you know.
The 100th
anniversary of the
anniversary.
revolution. Good. Commemorate. Next, number 4. Can try. Muhammad Taysir.
Thousands of runners participate in marathon every year.
Good. Thousands of runners participate in the marathon every year. Good. Number 5. The new museum. Who can try? عاطف. أحمد. يلا أحمد عزام.
Okay. The new museum has revived tourism in our city.
Good. The new museum has revived tourism in our city. The last one. Who can try? Who can try? Khalid Majdi. Number 6. Abdul Aziz. The practice of exchanging rings. Yes, read.
The practice of extension rings during a wedding ceremony dates back to ancient time.
Good. The practice of exchanging rings during a wedding ceremony dates back to ancient time. Now move to the true-false sentences. Number 1, Sharif.
Okay. The Olympic Games have occurred every 4 years since 776 BC. False.
I think it is false. You know, held every 4 years until, 393. So it is false.
And then they stopped.
Good. Number 2.
Years.
Number 2. Abdul Aziz.
Yes, teacher. The host country always leads the Olympic procession. False.
False. The host country always, comes at the end of the ceremony. False. Number 3. Uday.
Assuming obstacle race was once an Olympic sport. False.
Yes, it's true. Assuming obstacle race was once an Olympic sport. Yes, it is found in the 3rd paragraph. Good. Number 4. Abdul Aziz.
Yes. Before 1896, athletes who came in first place won a silver medal. True.
Before 1896, athletes who came in first place won a silver medal. No. The medals weren't always a part of the Olympics. But, in 1896, okay, the top prize was a silver medal. Before that, there wasn't, a prize for the Olympic. So it will be false. Good. Number 5, Uday.
Number 5. The marathon commemorates an ancient Greek sporting event. True.
It is false because, it commemorates what the soldier, not, an ancient Greek sporting. The marathon, did for what? For, to commemorate, an the let us say the soldier, the Greek soldier. The last one. Phidippides fell down and died soon after completing his run. Oh, what do you think, Sharif?
True.
True. Yes. When he arrived, he fell down and died. Good. Okay. Just we want to choose. They represent the number of continents in the Olympic Games flag. The 6 colors or the 5 rings? The 6 colors or the 5 rings? Which one is, representing the number of continents in the Olympic Games? Uday?
5 rings.
Good, the 5 rings. Now, Olympic Games started in Greece, Germany, France. What do you think? Sharif?
Greece.
Good, Greece. Medal or torch or prize is lit by using the light of sun and mirror. Uday?
Torch.
Torch, good. A game in which 2 teams pull on a rope. What do we call it? Pigeon, softball, tug of war. Sharif?
Tug of war.
Yes, tug of war, it is a game in which 2 teams pull on a rope. Here we have 2 words, mean a line of people moving together in a ceremony. 2 words have the same meaning with the explanation here. Abdul Aziz?
Marathon and parade.
Marathon means let us say a line of people. Marathon means, running, not moving together in a ceremony. Parade and procession have, they have the same meaning. A line of people moving together in a ceremony. Okay. Look here, Saudi Arabia at the Olympics. 2000 Sydney, 2000 Sydney also, Khalid Al-Eid, Hadi Swan. 2012 in London, Ramzi Dahami, Abdullah Saud, etc. Abdullah Sharbatli. Even here we have a homework on page 11, okay? Exercise A and B. This is, will be as a homework. Okay? Let's stop here.